Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. This is Straight Facts Commentary where I give you my unpopular opinions in everything pop culture. So please stick around and subscribe for more. Hey y'all, I am back again with another video, and in today's video, you see the title, we are going to be speaking about the music industry in general and how I just feel like it's going broke right now. It's like losing a lot of money. There's not a lot going on if you really want to think about it. And I kind of wanted to talk about a few different artists, a few different examples of just different things that I'm seeing that I'm like, it's just things are not going how they were 10, 20, 30 years ago in the music industry. It just seems like things are on like this downward tick for pretty much everybody. It feels like everyone is suffering in some way, whether it's new artists that haven't broke on to the mainstream, whether it's artists that are on the mainstream that are like legends, pop legends, rap legends, just different things like that that are suffering, whether it's people in the music industry that are mainstream that are trying to garner more buzz and attention around their names. Just so much. It seems like everybody is struggling in some capacity. And the first person that I wanted to talk about in regards to this is actually Beyonce. And some people are going to be like, Beyonce ain't struggling for nothing, trust me. No, I wouldn't say she's struggling for money or anything like that, or struggling because she's broke or poor or anything like that. But I do feel like there's a lot of conversations around Beyonce in regards to her trying to move out of music into the business space, because the music industry just isn't pulling in the money like that, and also it's very laborious. You have to do a lot. You have to really push yourself, really do so much work in order to make it in the music industry, versus starting a business and kind of letting the business sell itself, where you're practically rolling in the dough because you're making money in your sleep, but people purchasing items from you. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot less work on your physical body. And so a lot of people feel like Beyonce is starting all these different businesses because she's trying to get out of the whole music industry, having to go on tour, having to make albums, having to do merch for that, having to, slave away during the music industry. I could imagine how strenuous it is going on a tour every year, or every time you drop a project, how much money that takes and how much physical effort that takes, versus starting businesses require a lot less of your body being, your voice, your body being the focal point of things, and that's tiring, right? So people feel like Beyonce is starting all of these businesses to try to make money in different ways and different avenues, because the music industry is tough, it's laborious, and it is not nearly as profitable as it used to be. A lot of people praise Rihanna for, pretty much getting out of the music industry because she's not doing music anymore. People praise Rihanna for doing that because they're like, yeah, she got out of music and she's making way more money in these other businesses outside of the music industry than she was when she was making music, which is absolutely insane, being that music is Rihanna's claim to fame, of course. Then we look at other examples of the music industry isn't making any money and artists aren't making any money off of it, like Chloe and Halle Bailey, extremely talented girls, release singles, release albums, no noise, no money. They're getting a lot of their money from endorsement deals and partnerships and brand deals and things like that. Selena Gomez, Rare. Selena Gomez can put out a hit. She can put out a hit. We know that. She just had that one song with Rima, but she's doing Rare Beauty. She's making more money doing that than she would ever do dropping a single or an album. You know what I'm saying? So I could see why Selena Gomez isn't really in a rush to drop all of this music, drop all of these singles, features, drop albums back to back, go on tour. Because for what? She has Rare Beauty. Then we have Ariana Grande. She just dropped an album, of course, but she has her Rem Beauty. Then she's doing acting, which is way more money than music. So it's like all these people who we do know from music have slowly but surely branched out of that and started like this olive tree of other things going on. Like, if you notice, it doesn't seem like a lot of major artists are just musicians anymore. These artists are not just musicians. These artists are multifaceted, multidimensioned, because the music industry is running out of coin. The coin is in these other industries, and for them to capitalize off of them is very smart. And people feel that that is what Beyonce is trying to do. She's trying to capitalize. She's trying to find a brand that sticks like a Fenty, a brand that sticks like a Rare Beauty, a brand that sticks like a Rem. Ariana Grande's perfume brands, things like that. Speaking of the music industry isn't making no money and these legendary artists aren't making no money, Katy Perry, she just dropped an album. The album had horrible reviews. It wasn't a good album. I review music and I wasn't even motivated to review it because I only like two songs and I didn't want to make an entire review bashing an album. I hate doing that actually because people perceive me as mean and whatnot. So I don't like coming on to my platform just saying negative things about music. And I was just like, I don't want to make a review about this because I'm going to be honest. And me being brutally honest is going to be saying that it's trash, right? So, Katy Perry, she's a legend. She's struggling. Her album's not doing it. Lady Gaga, she just put out an entire album. Okay, there's really no noise around that album. I heard that it flopped, or it's going to flop, or it's projected to flop, or something like that. And I'm just like, Lady Gaga, like, what is going on? Like Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, these are two pop icons of the 2010s, 2008, 9, 10, right? What is going on? Like, why isn't their music selling? Why aren't they moving units? Why don't people care? Well, like, what's really happening here? So it kind of forces these artists, like, a Katy Perry, for example, or Lady Gaga, for example, to branch out and do other things, like start businesses or start doing stuff. Don't be surprised if you see some kind of brand pop up, sprout up from Katy or Lady Gaga or any of these other people, because it's like they're putting out albums, nobody's caring about them. You know what I'm saying? They're putting out singles, nobody's buying them. So these artists are going to have to start pivoting if they haven't already. Then we have brilliantly talented artists like Normani, and everybody talks about her, how she just dropped her album and left. Well, she dropped her album and left because it didn't sell. I heard that she's going on tour. A lot of people are asking why she's going on tour. She's going on tour to recoup the money that she didn't make from the album. So it sounds a little silly, but they have to make it up somehow, whether it's endorsement deals, touring, or any other means to make the money back or try to make as much as possible. So her going on tour isn't indicative of her success. It's actually, in this case, possibly indicative of her failure of selling the album. Normani is very talented, but she didn't put out any of the music videos that she was probably supposed to put out, even though apparently they were pre-recorded, pre-made, pre-done already. Maybe the label is holding them back because they're like, no, we're not going to put out these high-budget music videos, this high budget that costs all this money, and you didn't sell the album well enough. She sold like an underground artist would sell, not somebody who's supposed to be a mainstream artist that Normani was, propped up to be and presented as, right? So maybe the label doesn't find value in doing so. Either way it goes, it's very sad to see a lot of these artists that we perceive as mainstream and big and huge have something going on. Ice Spice, not talented, but very popular, projected to be, one of the biggest female rappers of the last couple of years. Puts out an album, doesn't sell. She goes on tour though to make up for the money. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure Ice Spice is going to be putting out little brands, doing little things to make as much money as she can off of the name that she's garnered. So it's a lot going on, and it seems like every artist has their own issue. It doesn't matter. It seems like whether you're big or small or in between, everybody has their own issue seemingly around the music industry and money and navigating it. Katy Perry, Beyonce, Lady Gaga. Even though Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, I believe right now, have like a huge single on the Billboard Hot 100, the Die with a Smile song, which is beautiful vocally, by the way. So that single is doing very good, and I'm glad for them. But at the same time, apparently her album isn't selling as much as people would have thought it would. So it's just very interesting to see how the music industry is pretty much broken. I would recommend for artists who are already, established, have a large name, have a big name. Yeah, go ahead and pivot out and do those businesses. Go ahead and start a brand, open up something, start something. Because it doesn't seem to matter whether you're a huge artist, whether you're very popular, whether you're a legend, you could still risk flopping. There are very few artists doing exceptionally well right now in the music industry. One of them, obviously, is Sabrina Carpenter. She's our breakout mainstream star. She had amazing singles, and her album sold amazing. And now she's on like this world tour, which looks amazing, by the way. The videos, the pictures of it, everything looks great. And she is doing really well. How is Sabrina Carpenter? Listen, very talented girl. Love her. She's grinding. She's been grinding for years. But how is she outselling and surpassing in the year 2024 a lot of these legends who we have known to make amazing music? How is she gaining more popularity and buzz than a lot of these people? Katy Perry, Lady Gaga. Sabrina Carpenter is the hottest thing since sliced bread, as they say right now. and she's outdoing a lot of people in popularity, a lot of people who've been here before her. So the music industry is just in a really weird place right now. Um, it's not generating a lot of income. And so major artists like Beyonce and others are trying to figure out how to, you know, do other things to make their income. Sorry if you hear some noise in the background, maybe barking, maybe shuffling, maybe people. I am at my mother's house and there's a lot of people here. We're packed up, so apologize for that. But that's really it for this one. That was just my observation of the music industry, some different artists, some different things that I've just been seeing over the past year, over the past few months. So you guys let me know. Do you feel like the music industry is suffering right now? I definitely do in comparison to, like I said, 10, 15, 20 years ago. I don't know what it's going to be in the next 5 to 10 years, for real, for real. But anyway, I love you guys, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.